What it is, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all living? Listen, I'm gonna try not to get too excited because we got Michael Jackson here today with his afro. Old Michael. I plan on singing quite a bit, so I had to make sure I had my microphone. I'm just giving you guys the forewarning. I know some of you guys, you like to be warned about these things because it's not your favorite. I don't know how you thought you were going to come here and watch a Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl Sunday halftime review and think that I'm not going to sing. Where did they do that at? And I thought I'd wear my my flag scarf. One, because it's actually cold today here in Atlanta, Georgia, although I'm always hot. I expect to be taking this off soon. Anyway, how y'all doing today? Listen, did you guys watch the Super Bowl on Sunday? I know you guys know that I was planted. I was front and center and I was waiting. I didn't post on Instagram because I had remember I was telling y'all about indulging and drinking and all of that. Okay, I had me a little CBD, just a little CBD. It's funny because something about when you have CBD and then you have like a drink with it, I feel like it just takes it over. It pushes it or something. It elevates the CBD, y'all. That's what I'm coming up with because I was sat on that couch. I never got up. I couldn't get up. I didn't dance. I didn't do nothing. I just sat there and watched it, and I did a little groove in the couch, y'all. So I'm sure you guys know why we're here. I already said it. We're talking about the Kendrick Lamar halftime performance. Super Bowl Sunday 2024. I think this was Super Bowl number 59. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles because they did win playing against Kansas City Chiefs. Actually, they beat the brakes off of Kansas City, and I don't even watch football, but I know enough about football to know that they got their ass whooped. I'm sorry, y'all, but my winning team, and the only qualifications that it would be my winning team is because Jalen Hurts is on it, and I just love Jalen Hurts. I think he is just the cutest thing. I love the fact that he has a black team of women that work around him. I love the fact that he has a black fiance. I love the fact that his black father is there supporting him. I just love it. The whole thing, y'all. So, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are the Super Bowl champions. They celebrated big time out there in Philadelphia. Kevin, Mikhail, I'm sure you guys are enjoying yourself out there. They're going to be having the Super Bowl parade, I believe, on Friday, from what I understand. Hell, I already saw Jalen Hurts was already at Disney World yesterday. I guess he must have flew straight from the Super Bowl to Disneyland. I didn't even see the Disneyland commercial that they usually do. Like, I'm going to Disneyland. But I'm sure they did do it. And he was there on the float yesterday. I was like, I guess they was like, let's get this shit out the way before you get busy with the rest of the week. I'm sure they're all interviewing and doing a lot. And then, like I said, the parade is on Friday. All of the Philadelphians out there, you guys make sure you behave yourselves. This is a good celebration for Philadelphia, considering that they just recently had that plane crash out there, and so something good happening to the city. So congratulations once again. Now we've got that out the way. Let's talk about the performance of the year. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? So you guys know that they had already announced that Kendrick Lamar was going to be the Super Bowl halftime show. Okay. We've been knowing about this ever since, I feel like, the end of summer, maybe the end of summer. Not Like Us. Let's just look at the timeline of when Not Like Us came out. I remember exactly when Not Like Us came out because I was at Joe's graduation in Arizona. When he was getting his master's, we were out there, and that's when the song came out. And his graduation, I believe, was like on May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd. It was somewhere in there. So May is when the song dropped. I feel like, again, by August, we knew that he was going to be the Super Bowl performer, halftime show. September, August, September, somewhere in there. And that's really early to find out who's going to be performing in the halftime show. We usually don't find out that early. Usually people don't even really care that early. But this time they hurried up and signed him on the dotted line because, I mean, Not Like Us was such a phenomenon. All right. And that's not me just talking, because you guys already know, that we represents the West Coast here all the time. Best Coast is the West Coast. The song had everybody in a chokehold, and it was a no-brainer. Jay-Z made sure, and the NFL made sure that they signed K. Dot to the performance. And then, throughout time, we was dropping hints about, we thought that maybe Beyonce was going to make some sort of appearance, but then we found out that Beyonce was actually getting the halftime of the Christmas game between the Texas Rangers and who was it? Buffalo Bills. Don't quote me. I don't remember who it was, but she did the Beyonce Bowl. So then I was like, okay, maybe she won't, but I was still kind of seeing, but then I was like, no, because there's really no reason. She has nothing to do with any of this. But he did tell us that SZA was also going to be performing with him in the halftime show. Usually they'll have guests, and SZA was also a no-brainer because they have two hits together. Then, of course, we went through the drama with Lil Wayne and the people of New Orleans who were upset that Lil Wayne, or Cash Money, but really Lil Wayne in particular, was not the person that they had chosen for the halftime show. And many people in New Orleans and nationwide, worldwide, there were a lot of people who were upset with that, felt that maybe Lil Wayne needed to be that person. I never agreed. First of all, just because you're in that city doesn't mean that the person from the city needs to perform there. Also, Lil Wayne, love him to death, and he stays in rotation. I won't even lie. However, what is he going to sing? He doesn't really have any current music. And it just, no. And we had to go through some emotions with that. People were in their feelings and stuff, but everybody promptly moved those feelings out the way. Okay, or maybe they didn't, because we see that Lil Wayne did not go to the Super Bowl. That was in his hometown. And Skip Bayless said he was skipping the Super Bowl as well in solidarity with Lil Wayne. So hey, y'all do what you do. I mean, I understand and all, but no. And I still feel like this was the best choice. I just did not want to see Lil Wayne, even if Kendrick was not the person to be performing. I don't really have the desire to see Lil Wayne live anymore. He sounds horrible. And no. Okay. So there was that. We did have some people from Louisiana that performed at the Super Bowl, though. We had John Baptiste that did sing the national anthem with that beautiful piano. Did you guys see it? With all of the colors. It was a big, big grand piano, or baby grand, whatever they call it. And it had all of these swishes of different colors on there. It was just like right up my alley. I loved it. We had Lettucey. She sang "Lift Every Voice and Sing Till Earth and Heaven Ring." I didn't give you a warning that song was coming, but just expect that throughout the review. She looked great. I was like, maybe Lettucey probably got a little bit of the Ozempic as well, because she's quite thin. Sounded great. Okay, so we got our Louisiana folks in it, because I think Lettucey is from Louisiana. Anyway, game got started, whatever. Halftime show that was sponsored by Apple Music. Now we just go, y'all. I'm gonna give you the whole rundown. Okay, so get your little snacks. Get your shit together, because we about to be performing. I thought it was very, very clever the way that he had Samuel Jackson playing Uncle Sam. Now, first of all, I know that everybody has sat and pulled apart, all of the double and triple and quadruple entendres throughout the entire performance. I'm not really going to do that. I mean, I'll point out the things that I noticed just watching the show, but we not going to get deep. Kendrick can be very deep. I'm sure there were many calculated things that he planned for and was hoping that people would catch and, all that. But y'all just have to go watch the Think Pieces, because even the Think Pieces done got on my nerves. I'm just like, oh God, what else is child? I don't even know if he thought about some of the shit y'all said that he was doing. So the way the show opens, we have it's on the field, of course, and we see these squares. There's 9 squares there. They're lit up, but it's dark. So just the circumference of the square, the perimeter of the square is lit up, and it is dark. We see Samuel Jackson, who is acting as Uncle Sam. Okay. And of course, you can already know Uncle Tom. We think of the way that he was talking and the way he was smiling in the camera. We think of the character he played in the Django, of course, okay, where he was the Uncle Tom there. But in this situation, in these circumstances, we have Uncle Sam, who is just trying to be the voice of reason in Kendrick Lamar's ear, okay? Uncle Sam is there to tell him, listen, welcome to the greatest game. Yes, Super Bowl is considered the greatest game, but also the greatest game of America, because it's just a game, you guys, especially with the newest person that you guys call y'all stupid ass president in office. It ain't nothing but a game. And then all of a sudden we see Kendrick Lamar on the field. All right. He is on top of the GNX, which is the car, you guys tell me. And he is rapping. I did like the fact that he sang most of the songs that he sang in the halftime show was from his new album. I know a lot of people was wanting him to sing a lot of stuff from his old albums, but this album was so important to this whole thing. It really was no need. First of all, he's going to promote his newest work, and there really was no need. It didn't fit in with the story that he was trying to tell. So everything mostly was from GNX. I love the fact that when they open the doors and the trunks of that car, all them people come jumping out of there. Child, I was just like, look at all the people in the car. But then as they kept on coming, I was like, oh no, they coming from the stage. But it was clever. It was cute. Y'all know y'all like that. Y'all know y'all like that. Once we all got out there, we did Reincarnated. Reincarnated. I'm a stargazer. Life goes on. I need all my babies. What? Woke up looking for the broccoli I keep. So we did Reincarnated. Y'all, I had to make sure I put the list. Had to make sure I put the list of what everybody did, what songs he did there. So we started with Reincarnated, which makes sense because that's the first song on GNX as well. Okay. And then again, we had Uncle Sam come in, and Uncle Sam is just telling him, like, okay, you need to keep this cute. Let's not get ghetto up in here. Okay. Let's keep it cute. All right. That's when we go into the DNA, and that's when we go into the sit down, be humble, sit down, because it's like Uncle Sam, which is also, the symbol of the establishment or the man telling you to sit down. Here, I just told y'all I wasn't going to be doing this, and here I'm doing it anyway. So we've got the whole sit down, be humble thing. Then we go into squabble up. Hold up. Where you from? My bitch. I'm finna go dumb. Sideways. Hey, bus stop. I'm telling you, GNX is a great album. I was not happy with Mr. Morale. It was a good album, but it was not what I wanted. So this was the perfect, especially why they kept on playing in my boy's face and saying that he then got too hotepy and tree huggery, and he, wasn't putting the music out to make him dance. So this whole album, can he help but dance? He goes into I Deserve It All. Okay. And we saw him with the homeboys that kind of was like hanging out behind him. It was kind of giving you like he was in Compton, and they kind of all hanging around, kind of like the light post, just, you know how it was. I mean, if you're from LA, you hanging out, until the street lights come on, basically. So he did I Deserve It All. Okay. Which is, have you listened to the words of I Deserve It All? It's great. It is a great song. Then after he did I Deserve It All, you guys, he did Peekaboo. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. They talking about nothing. I don't know how you can say that shit so fast. I actually saw an interview where the guy, whoever's on that song with him, was saying how hard it was to say that. And I was like, yes, it is very hard to say that. Fast over and over. What they talking about, they talking about nothing. What they talking about, they talking about nothing. What they talking about, they talking about nothing. But anyway, he did that song and we love Peekaboo. And sporadically throughout the performance, again, you'd have Uncle Sam coming in trying to just get him to calm down. He gave us a couple of warnings that he was going to do Not Like Us, but then he was just like, yeah, I don't know, because they like to sue. All right. He had his four dancers, the four core dancers, the girls behind him, and they was kind of like talking to him too. It was like he was like dealing with his conscience. And then before he did Not Like Us, he was like, you know what, let's slow it down. Okay. So we slowed it down, and that's when we saw SZA on the floor. And that's when we heard, if it was up to me, I wouldn't take you nobody, no sympathy. I've loved in something, I give you everything. I just want to see you win, want to see if this world, it goes in, out, on the floor. Baby, you a star, strike a pose. When I'm with you, everything goes. Come and put that on my soul. SZA looked great, sounded great. You can tell that they were singing live. That was another thing that I wanted to point out, that Kendrick Lamar, the breath control. The breath control. Have you guys really ever tried to run and even hold a conversation and try to make the conversation be something that people can understand? Okay. Well, just imagine trying to perform all of these songs in 8 minutes, okay, or however many minutes they give him for the halftime show. All the words that he had to remember. He had to change up some words, okay, some things you just cannot say on national television or worldwide television in this case. So he had to change up words. He had to make sure that he remembered all of the words. He had to keep his breath under control. He was running all over this huge ass field. It was amazing. It was amazing. Okay. And there's something to be said about people who can perform and keep their breath, because I'm telling you, it is not easy. That's why Beyonce and them used to say that her father used to make them sing while they ran on a treadmill, because you need to get, nobody wants to go pay money to go to a concert. you know, either you doing that or you are holding the microphone out to the crowd so everybody else can sing the song. It's like, no, we came here to see you. Okay. So get that breath under control. Not everybody can do it, but the ones that can, it's a special skill, you guys. So love that too. Anyway, again, we are down there on that floor. What I didn't tell you guys is that the whole thing, America's best game or favorite game, so the whole down there on the floor was set up as if it were a controller. Okay. Some will say a Sony PlayStation controller. All right. And if we was just gonna tie some of the, things together, they say that, Sony is part of Universal Music Group, and Sony and OVO and Drake's label and all that is all tied together. So this is what they are saying, the reason why he chose a PlayStation controller as the setting down there. We're gonna talk about the people, the way the damn field look. Let me get through this playlist track list, y'all. She did Luther. They did Luther together, and they also did the theme from Black Panther. What's the name of the song? All the Stars, All the Lights. Sing it up to sing my let me know all the stars, all the stars, all the stars. Go. It's better than nothing to still don't let me know. Child, they sounded so good together. So good. That concert is going to be so good. You guys just, mwah! Did you get your tickets yet? So once SZA finally finishes her set, that was when he finally comes back over to his girls, his four core dancers. Okay. And he's tossing it around with them, like, should I do the song? I don't know. And they was like, what song? And he was like, then you hear the little ding, 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 ding. And he was like, that song. And they was like, oh no. And he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this song, And they was like, you sure you gonna do it? And then he just went into it, you guys. Mustard on the beat, though. D-Boat, any rap nigga, he a free throw. Man down, call the ambulance, tell him freeze, bro. But that is not the part that I was most concerned about. I was concerned about whether or not they were going to allow him to clearly say the verse where he's not only talking about Drake, but also the crew. Okay. And I think that's what everybody was waiting on, because I was watching the video and I was just like, is he really going to say this? Are they going to bleep it out? No, they did not. When he got in front of them dancers and walking and he looked over at the camera fast, he said, say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1 to any girl that talk to a man in love. Just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubbs is the one that gets your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose round. And Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Pop, wop, 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 wop. Die, fuck him up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. Listen, when he sang that part, I'm sure I was like everybody else who had a big smirk on their face. It was like he really, truly just said, not only just Drake, but called out the whole crew. National TV, worldwide television, everybody watching. And if you were watching closely, you heard everybody in that stadium say A minor. And I was just like, he really did just say that. Now, let me just say, I absolutely 100% expected him to sing Not Like Us. I didn't even know that that was a discussion that was going around on social media. I did see that Charlemagne and other people were saying that he shouldn't because it's a diss song and all of that. And I was like, no, if he doesn't do Not Like Us, I'm going to be pissed. That is the reason why we are at the Super Bowl. That is the reason why he got this halftime performance. We ain't came up here to see, we love GNX and everything, but we did not come here to see that. We came here to see Not Like Us be performed on such a big stage like this. So he had to do it. If he hadn't done it, I would have been really upset about that. We get through that part. Next thing we had Mustard. I was like, Roxanne, are you really going to do it? That's probably going to sound really distorted on this microphone. TV off. Turns out to be the last song of the night. Mustard maybe making a big stamp on our music almost as much as Not Like Us, because that Mustard is just something that you're going to keep remembering. I mean, even Heinz took advantage and used that song in their commercials. Okay, so this is a song. It's just amazing. Call it God's favor, whatever you want to call it, but it's amazing how everything has worked out so well for Kendrick Lamar. Okay. And a side note, if you're not a Kendrick Lamar fan, well, you've made it this far. I mean, you had to know that I was going to sit here and I was only going to be big upping him. Okay. So if you're not really a Kendrick Lamar fan, I'm sorry, but it's our day. We won. We won. LA is outside, and Kendrick has been the perfect representative of our LA rappers. As a matter of fact, my brother was like, I actually think that he is the best LA rapper that we've ever had. And I was like, well, there is something to say that Kendrick Lamar is definitely up at the top. Okay. He's definitely in the top 3. Like I said, we can't even count really Tupac as an LA rapper. We keep him as our West Coast brethren. We do. But technically he wasn't born in LA, Kendrick, born and raised. Yes, he's definitely he's up there. He might just be. What do you guys think? You guys will have to let me know. Weigh in on that. And we know that he's a Pulitzer Prize. He's the only rapper that's won a Pulitzer Prize. He's just an educated kid, and I just love him, you guys. I love him. Anyway, as he closed out, turn the TV off, turn the TV off, turn the TV off, turn the TV off, boom, 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 boom. Hey, every time I hear this song, I want to dance, y'all. I want to dance all the time, though. When he finished TV off, he had a remote in his hand and he kind of like pointed it at the camera and like hit it like that. And then the camera pans up to the audience and you saw it lit up and it said game over. And I was just like, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Bitch, it's hot. It's getting hot, y'all. But yeah, that's about right. Game is probably over for some people. I was talking to Jada this morning. Jada was like, Mom, I don't really know how Drake is going to recover from all of this. I mean, it's just so much. And I was like, yeah, because the song came out. Okay. It was the summer anthem, not just on the West Coast, but everywhere. Okay. Then we found out that he got the Super Bowl. Then he announced that he was going on tour. Then first he had the concert in LA where he brought the Crips and the Bloods together at the Forum, and that was a big deal. Okay. That was a great time. Then we found out that he was going on tour. Okay. Um, nope. Back up. He dropped the album. And then we found out he was going on tour. And then New Year came, and now we had the Super Bowl, and then he will begin his tour in a couple of weeks. Okay. And that's a lot of fuck Drake. I mean, that's a lot of bad talk about Drake. He is going to perform that song everywhere. And yeah, it's going to be difficult for Drake. And that's too bad. I do feel kind of sorry for Drake because this is a lot to take. When you hear people say like somebody go check on Drake, like I almost seriously mean that. When you have a whole, because some people are just bandwagon. They love to they're going to jump on because everybody else is on it. That is a lot to overcome, knowing that everybody has something foul to say about you in their mouth and that they're repeating something that one of your enemies has said over and over. So it's a lot for Drake. I would be real salty if I was him. Just like Boosie saying that. I don't know when I will ever agree with Lil Boosie again. But in this instance, I do. When he was talking about a lot of people have turned their back on Drake. Now, I haven't turned my back on Drake, but I don't know Drake. And of course, I've always said how much I love Kendrick Lamar. So I don't feel bad about my support for Kendrick. But if I was a true friend and fan of Drake's, if that's who you were, then you would need to stay loyal, and all the fact that everybody has kind of jumped over into Kendrick's side and kind of left Drake, it's a lonely time for Drake. So I do kind of feel, because all these years that they've been beefing and things, first of all, we didn't know much about the beef originally, but once we finally realized it, like, I didn't know that it was going to grow to this extent. I don't know if anybody knew what, the turns that this whole story was going to take. But yeah, it's just it's a difficult time for Drake. So when I say somebody needs to check on Drake, like, I mean that. I'm not being shady or anything. Like, folks need to check on him. I saw the cute little video that Drake did of him performing in Australia with this hoodie on that got a whole bunch of holes in it and the smoke coming out. I was just like, that is so corny. Oh, Drake, every move the po man make is something corny. Why you walking with this smoking hoodie on, Drake? First of all, I guess that's him saying like he can take all the bullets and he's still here. He is still here. He ain't did shit. He ain't did shit since all of this started. But he is still here. Okay. And I'm sure he still has his money and everything. But yeah. It's a tough time. It is a tough time right now. But that's pretty much it, you guys. Enjoyed it immensely. But like I said, I just could not. Baby girl had a little too much. I had did it too big. I had did it a little too big, y'all. So let me look at my notes and see if there was anything else that I wanted to talk about here. That's it. Other than you guys, while you're checking on Drake, you might want to check on Chubb's Party P&D and Baca too, because we know too much of their business. And I couldn't even tell you who Chubbs and Baca are. I only know who P&D is. And just minimally, I only know the name. If I saw that man walk across my car right there, I would know who he was. Listen, you guys tell me what you thought about it. Bing, 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 boom, 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 hey. Y'all know it was a jam. Y'all know y'all had a good time. Stop trying to pick at it all the time. Okay, people saying it was boring. It was not much. Listen, it was simple. And sometimes simple is exactly what we need. So you can see what the hell is going on. The fact that everybody had on red, white, and blue, we know red Crips. I'm sorry, Bloods. Blue Crips. Okay. White might as well be white for America. All right. And then we've got Kendrick there performing there. I loved the entire thing. Them spread out on that dance floor at some parts looking like the chalk outline of when they draw when somebody gets hurt. What other things did I notice that I was the lowercase a that he had hanging around his neck could mean a couple of things. People are saying that is the logo of his brand that he has. I don't know the name of it. It's some different name, okay? But he has a brand that he has with a partner, and that is the logo. But also, people are saying because a minor, it's a minor lowercase a, okay? So it could be that as well. Everybody is making a big to do about his jeans that he had on. I don't know who was the maker of the jeans, but I probably should have found that out. They're saying that they're sold out though. I was just like, they're just some flared jeans, but everybody was going on and on about it. You know, the fact that, Kendrick looks better as he gets older. So he then thickened up a little bitty little chunk thigh, that little side view that we got of him with a little butt and the little legs. And I was just like, okay, we just put about 8 more inches on you. The nigga is tiny. And really, that would only make him maybe 6 feet, maybe 6'1", okay? But yeah, I loved it. I loved it all. So proud of him, so happy. Can't wait for the concert. And that was it. I didn't have any problems with it. I enjoyed the fact that it was simple. It was easy to understand. Okay. And we got through it. Sometimes you don't need all these pyrotechnics. We don't need all that sometimes. Sometimes we need to make sure that the message is understood, that y'all can see it and that you can understand it. Okay. And I think he did a great job of doing that. So that's it. That's it. That's it. Somebody was like, Roxanne, always gonna put the church on that singing. Yes, that's where I came from, y'all. This voice is touched by the Lord. Y'all let me know what you thought about it, and I'm gonna get on off of here. All right, y'all, let me get on because I still got to do top of the blogs. Trying to figure out if I'm gonna break it into 2 or make it just 1. We'll see. But y'all let me know what you thought about the Super Bowl halftime show. All right, once more, West Coast is the best coast. Oh, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same.